No, it is disappointing, but at the same time, what's more important that having that feeling is, to reason out why exactly it happened. Because once you know the reasoning, you can rectify the problem or solve the problem in the coming game. So I felt today's first session was very crucial, and I don't think we handled it really well. And that was one of the main reasons, because if we would have got a decent partnership going and got a few more runs, we also, the wicket was misbehaving to some extent, and if the game would have gone on the fifth day, it would have been a bit up and down also. So, then we could have exploited the condition more, but I think it was the morning session, that had a big impact on the game. We went to practice. The wicket was not good for practice, and there a few of the batsmen batted, and Shikhar got hit, and he left, and after that I was padded up, so I went into bat. So he was a bit uncomfortable, but he didn't react as to the injury is such that he won't get to bat. So he came back to the dressing room. Me and Duncan, we were there, and by the time I finished my batting, I found the wicket to be a bit uneven. So we also came in early, but by the time we came back, it was quite close to the start of the play, and there we saw Shikhar was not really 100% fit to go into bat, and it was quite late. So we could only give maybe 5 to 10 minutes notice to Virat as to he would go in. So that was one area where we could have handled the situation a bit better. But it's something that we'll have to take into our stride, because we thought he was fine. Maybe he got a blow, but he's good enough to bat. But he was not. As you saw, he went into bat late. So that kind of a scenario, there's a bit of unrest that happens. Not like a typhoon coming unrest, but it's just that the calmness of the dressing room goes for a toss. So that was the situation, and it was a bit late to verbally resolve the problem. What was really needed was some kind of a partnership, 20-25 minutes of batting, and it would have gone back to normal. But that was the area, where we lacked and we couldn't really capitalize. Yeah, I feel, till they are not abusing each other, until they don't cross the boundary, it's fine, because a lot of kids and elderly people also watch the game. So, often people ask about, what really is spirit of the game. And what I feel is, it's something that you don't want your kids to do on the field when they are playing. So if there's anything, that's going fine within the boundaries or the guidelines of the game, I'm happy with it, because you also want a bit of aggression in the game. And also the players, they have played against each other. Most of them, they play for the same side in IPL, and also some of the other T20 leagues. So I feel, till they don't cross the boundary, it's all right, because it just brings a bit more entertainment for the spectators. But it's very important that since we know the guidelines, that we are within the lines, especially when how we are supposed to conduct ourselves. It's a very interesting question, but what's more important than that is there are a lot of 50-50 decisions that are not really going in our favor. We are on the receiving end more often than not. And what happens in DRS, even when the DRS is around, those decisions, they won't go in our favor, because if the umpire has given out, you take a DRS, still it's out, because DRS often is used to justify the decision that's given by the umpire. What's important is to, use DRS as a way of giving the right decision, irrespective of whether the umpire has given it out or not out. There are a lot of ways to use DRS, but this is something that needs to be put in a specific way, as to, it doesn't really matter if the umpire is given out or not out. If the ball hits the stumps, you are out, or if the half the ball hits the stumps, you are out, because then you are adding too many variables to the game. It can certainly improve, but also, it is very tough for those two individuals. Not to forget, it was very hot right from the start of this test match. They stand there for 5 days continuously. We come back, apart from lunch and tea, they don't really get any breaks. When we are batting, they are still on the field. When Australia is batting, they are still on the field. So it is tough on them. But I always try to tell them, try to be consistent throughout the test match. But there have been quite a few 50-50 calls, where we have been on the receiving end, and irrespective of whether DRS is there or not, we will be on the receiving end according to the decisions that are given by the umpire. Well, I think there are plenty of positives, because we have been able to take wickets, which I feel is important to win test matches. Because you may be scoring big runs, you may be scoring 500 and 400 runs, but at the end of the day, what's really important is to take 20 wickets to win a test match, and to formulate ways to get 20 wickets. And what we have seen is the execution power of our fast bowlers has increased. Ishant is the lead of the pack. He is someone who can consistently now bowl in one areas. Varun is someone who's still raw. He does go for runs, but it's exciting to see somebody from India, bowling at a good pace and using the bouncer to get the opposition out and all of that stuff. So overall, if you see, there are plenty of areas, which we can say definitely there have been a lot of improvement, but still we are not crossing the line. That crossing the line is something, it's more like a wine that's brewing. We need to give it a bit more time, and once they start crossing that line and once they harness that aggression in the right channel, you'll see plenty of good results from this side.